Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel Reinhardt Gaming, and I am Ray. For more content like this, please subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon for notifications. Shenhe got her first banner in the current patch 2.4 and she is hot AF. If you played through the new Orcon quest, you will know why I like her personality. In this video, I want to help you decide if to pull for her or skip her. This video is trying to do only that and is not made as a build guide. I will go through her kit in this video, but only from a perspective of to pull for her or not, but not how to build her. Build guides need a lot of testing and documentation, which I didn't do. I totally make this video based on how I felt while playing her. I'm a casual player, not a theory crafter or anything close to that, but I'm slightly interested in meta. This video is in no way trying to stop you from pulling your favorite character, but only trying to help you to be ready for the characters you are pulling for by going through their playstyle and multiple other factors regarding investment. If you like Shenhe for her character model, personality, voice actor or gameplay, you should pull for her because Genshin is a game with content you can clear with most of the characters. Or if you like playing chongyun, Kaya, or you didn't find proper roles for them till now, you should consider pulling for her because she can enable them to do more damage if you really don't care about her personality or character model, voice actor, gameplay. If you don't want to play 4-star characters, then if you don't care about any of these things, then it is okay to skip her. I recommend skip her. When I first saw Shenhe's kit, I thought she could be really broken or really bad at what she is supposed to do. But she is a balanced character. She is a niche support for cryo like Sarah, Thoma or Goro. She is a sub-DPS character that buffs your already well-built characters, meaning she relies on her own attack and her team's crit damage, elemental damage and other buff modifiers. She also has support capabilities. There are very few characters in the game that can fill multiple roles like Zhongli and Ganyu, but both Zhongli and Ganyu have more use than Shenhe in multiple ways. Like Zhongli can shield, act as a burst support, or at high investment he can also be a DPS, which I don't recommend. Ganyu can be main DPS, sub DPS and has much more usability than Shenhe. Shenhe feels similar to sub DPS Ganyu. She provides really good buff for her team cryo damage. I think she is much better than support sub DPS like Chi-Chi, but less usable than Albedo. This is only my opinion. If you are pulling for her, the most important thing you have to understand is how her buff works. She can buff your whole team with elemental skill. If you use her elemental skill, 5 or 7 ice-equal stacks are given to all the members of the party, meaning if you have 4 members, you get 20 or 28 ice-equals, which buff your base damage only if it's cryo, regardless the character element, as you can deal cryo damage using Animo Infusion or Chongyun elemental skill. Let me explain what base damage is. Consider a character has certain amount of attack, say 100, and their talent has a 300% modifier on it. Consider the talent to be charge attack. If you charge attack with a character, then their attack is multiplied by 300%. Then their base damage is their attack plus any attack buff from characters like Bennett, Sarah. Considering you don't have any buffs, your base damage will be 300. If you have attack buff of 10, then your base damage will be 100 plus 10 into 3.0, which is your talent modifier of 300%. Then your base damage will be 3300. A percentage of Shenhe's attack based on her talent level on her E skill will be added to the base damage. Then the elemental damage bonus will be applied and the crit damage modifier will be applied if you crit, and then rest of the buffs are applied if there are any. Her buff is added only if the ice-equal stacks are present on the character, which is hard limited to 5 on the press of your elemental skill and 7 on holding your elemental skill. These are hard limited. C1 doesn't increase this limit. This hard limit may feel restrictive, but it's not a big deal because it encourages quick swap teams. Her E doesn't snapshot, so if your ice-equal was cast at buffed attack, then it will drop once the buff is gone on her. And the other way around can also be true. If she is buffed and it is currently active, her ice-equal will also be buffed. Her support capabilities mainly come from her burst, shredding cryo and physical resistance, passive buffing cryo damage, and her A4 passive. They They are fairly straightforward to understand. This is the reason why I say Shenhe feels very similar to sub DPS Ganyu, but Ganyu's damage scales with number of enemies, but Shenhe's hard cap on her E skill doesn't scale with the number of enemies, meaning she only buffs instances of damage inflicted but not attack overall. More on how Ganyu scaling in a future video. Subscribe and hit that notification bell for updates. Currently she has 3 artifact builds. The first one is 2-piece Shimanaga's 2-piece Gladiator with attack percent, Sands, Goblet and Circlet with substat priority of energy recharge because her support capabilities come from her burst. And then crit. The second one is 4-piece Noblesse set with attack percent, Sand, Goblet, Circlet and substat priority of energy recharge because her support capabilities. And then crit. And the third one is 4-piece Blizzard Slayer with the same attack percent, Sand, Goblet and Circlet with substat ER. Then crit. For a high-end Shenhe, you can replace attack percent Circlet for a crit Circlet with high attack percent substat to improve her damage. I personally recommend to go with 2-piece Shimanaga's 2-piece Gladiator because they are easy to farm, and if you're willing to invest a lot in her, you may also go with her Blizzard set. Overall, her artifact choice is not very restrictive. Go with the one depending on how much you want to invest in her. You should know one thing: the more attack percent you stack on her, the more diminishing return you get, but for low investment I recommend triple attack percent. Shenhe's weapon choice is also not very restrictive. She can not only use her best in slot weapon but can also use Engulfing Lightning. You can use a weapon with high base attack that provides attack through passive or secondary stats. Her 4-star recommended weapons are Femonious Lance, providing energy recharge and provides particles for the rest of your team, especially at a high refinement. Lithic Spear with attack percent passive, with her counting as a lever character. Wavebreaker Fin with a very good base attack, but its passive may not be very useful for her buffing capabilities, but will be useful for her burst damage. You can also use the catch, but I wouldn't recommend it on her because it is better on other characters. Skytain Crossspear also has a good base attack and passive for her, but secondary stat of EM is not very useful. Prototype Star Glitter is also good on her with energy recharge but hard to utilize the passive. 5-star weapon choices are her best in slot Calamity Queller with attack percent secondary and attack percent passive. Engulfing Lightning is also a great choice. Energy recharge secondary providing all the ER she needs, and the passive provides attack. Staff of Oma converting her HP to attack, but wouldn't recommend Staff of Oma over other 4 stars like Femonious Lance. Jade Spear and Skyward Spine have a very high base attack. Skyward Spine can actually be really good on her. Constellations are not that good except for C3, which increases her E skill level. The rest of her constellation focuses on her damage, except C2, which increases her buffing capabilities. C6 does not ignore burst damage instances, so not very useful because with Shenhe we want to apply as much cryo as possible in as little time as possible. With quick swap to maximize her damage using up all the icicles she provides the team. I wouldn't recommend any constellations of her for FP2 or low spenders. Instead go for her weapon. It is better only if you want to spend more on her. This is only my recommendation from what I saw. I do not encourage anyone to spend your precious primos, especially if you are F2P or a low spender, on weapon banner. A weapon you already have or can craft is always better than using your primos or swiping. Team comps for Shenhe are also not very restrictive because chongyun exists. She works with all the cryo characters if you want. She works really well in mono cryo teams with Jinku or Mona for perma-freeze and crowd control. She might not be that effective with Ganyu because her charge shots takes time to charge. She works well with Chongyun, Rosaria, Kaya, Ayaka, Deona. Reverse Melt is not that good. She can also buff Kazuha's passive elemental damage bonus buff, but there is a problem with this. Kazuha's plunge after activating his E skill will proc shatter on enemies. She also works with Venti, but she might not be effective if you build your Venti as an EM support, as she scales off of your team's crit and career damage bonus. She works really well with Ayaka, but one thing you should keep in mind while building a team for her is you want to use characters that can apply a lot of cryo to maximize her damage. Her team comps are also not that restrictive, but she is not enabling anything new. She works fairly well with permafreeze teams, but reverse melt is not that good. Overall, I had fun playing her. Shenhe is not made to be played in a Unga Bunga mode, or she is not that difficult to play. Her pull value overall is low currently, but she can provide enough DPS to the team. As I said in the beginning of the video, Shenhe's kit is fairly balanced. She is not weak. It feels really balanced. There can always be future characters that can use her more effectively than the current cryo characters. So if you're really interested in her character model, personality, voice actor, lore or gameplay perspective, I recommend pull for her. Otherwise, you can skip her. On my last video, I received feedback from Drop on Reddit. I know I butchered his name. Thank you. It helped me a lot and motivate me to make this video and many more videos to come better than my last one. I very much appreciate feedback like this from the community. Thank you Drop. Sorry for butchering your name again. For your feedback, I appreciate the help. Thanks for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and also hit the notification bell for more content like this. If you like the video, please hit the like button and share this video. It would be a great help for me. If you have anything else to say, please leave a comment. You can check out these two videos. Thank you.